Welcome to the Worcester Regional Research Bureau's 2020 Thomas S. Green Public Service Awards. I'm Paul Matthews, the Bureau's Executive Director and CEO. And for those of you who do not know the Bureau, we're a 35-year-old nonprofit that serves the interest of Greater Worcester by conducting independent, nonpartisan research and analysis of the issues confronting the region and promoting informed public debate and decision-making. This is always a proud day for the Research Bureau and has been since 1988, as we annually take the opportunity to highlight some of the many committed public employees across the region. I want to thank everyone, particularly this year's honorees and their supporters, for participating in this year's virtual program. While the pandemic has unfortunately prevented us from providing our usual in-person celebration, the pandemic also reminds us of the importance of public service and commitment to the public and what the community's needs are during this very dire time. So we really want to commend the honorees for really epitomizing the best principles of public service. Now, before I move along in the program, I also need to thank the nominators for taking the time and trouble for calling attention to these terrific unheralded public servants, the Beechwood Hotel for hosting today's program virtually, Penta Communications for their technical expertise and assistance, my colleague Eric Neeland, the Bureau's Director of Programs and Operations, who's done a great job putting together this virtual program. I also need to thank the very committed award committee members and their chair, Ellen Ganley from the Community Action Council, who's chairing for the third year. So before I turn the program over to my friend Ellen Ganley, I want to close with two thoughts. One is, please, all of you watching, consider nominating someone next year. It's vitally important we continue to recognize the high caliber of commitment we have from a wide range of public employees in Worcester and beyond. And that depends on nominations from the public. So please do check our website and submit some of the great individuals out there. I also want to thank, personally and professionally, all the honorees. When we look cumulatively at everything they've done on behalf of the public and the community, it's a tremendous testament to the spirit of public service. And I really want to just offer my heartfelt appreciation, especially during such a pressing time in our community. On that note, I'm happy to turn it over to Ellen Ganley, our vibrant chair.
Thank you, Paul. As Paul mentioned, my name is Ellen Ganley. I'm the Director of Development for Worcester Community Action Council and in my third year as the chair of the Thomas S. Green Awards Committee. As a former municipal employee myself, I believe very strongly in the spirit of the awards and recognizing the tireless efforts of the men and women who go to work day after day to make our city safe and to make our community a better place for all of us, perhaps now more than ever. We have a remarkable slate of candidates to present to you this evening. It's my pleasure to welcome the families of Peter, John, Ed, Paul, and Kate, who are watching with us from home. Thank you, and you certainly have lots of wonderful people to celebrate. The Thomas Green Award is named in memory of Thomas S. Green, who personified integrity, exceptional leadership, and remarkable commitment to voluntary public service on behalf of the city of Worcester. These awards are made publicly each year to recognize efforts for individuals exhibiting the following characteristics: exceptional competence and efficient handling of all assigned responsibilities, enthusiastic performance of tasks above and beyond the call of duty, cooperative, helpful, and friendly attitude towards the public and their fellow employees, and lastly, a community involvement outside the scope of their job-related responsibilities. As I noted, we have a fantastic slate of candidates that we're celebrating this evening, and I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize my fellow colleagues on the awards committee who helped select these outstanding individuals. I'd like to recognize Joyce Augustus from the YWCA of Central Mass, Dan DiTullio representing Assumption University, Kathleen Gagney from Mechanics Hall, Heather Gould from the BSC Group, Alex Guardiola from Worcester Regional Chamber of Commerce, Karen Luddington from the Worcester Area Medical Society, Paul Matthews from the Research Bureau, Kate McAvoy representing UMass Memorial, Paul Provost from the Worcester Telegram and Gazette, Hilda Ramirez representing the Latin Education Institute, Todd Rodman from Cedar and Chandler, and last but not least, Hank Stoltz, our favorite from Talk of the Commonwealth. I'd also like to thank this year's sponsors who have all generously provided gifts that the recipients will be receiving. Worcester Art Museum, the DCU Center, Worcester Restaurant Group, Scharfman's, Worcester Historical Museum, Mechanics Hall, and the Worcester Bravehearts. We'd also like to recognize the Beechwood Hotel for graciously hosting our virtual ceremony, and would like to thank Penta Communications for putting together this fabulous video that you're watching right now. Also would like to recognize Senators Harriet Chandler and Mike Moore, along with Representative John Mahoney, who provided citations from the Mass Senate and House of Representatives to honor our honorees this evening. Without further ado, let's get on with our celebration. Our first recipient this evening is Peter Dunn, who's being recognized for his service as the Assistant Chief Development Officer for the city. Clearly, the committee knew what we were doing when we picked Peter, because he has subsequently been appointed as the head Chief Development Officer. So we knew what we were doing. Peter has worked for the Executive Office of Economic Development since 2013, working primarily in business and community development. He is a force for the city of Worcester and for the businesses in our community. We're truly fortunate to have him working among us. I'd like to welcome Craig Blaze, who nominated Peter, who will offer a few words of congratulations.
Good evening. I'm Craig Blaze, President and CEO of the Worcester Business Development Corporation, and I'm so pleased to be here. First, I want to congratulate Peter Dunn on his successful selection with the Thomas Green Awards for the City of Worcester. There couldn't be a more deserving applicant. I've known Peter for many, many years, and his family, his mom Sandy, just totally proud of Peter and his accomplishments and everything he has done. So well deserved. We're excited about the next 30 years of Peter's career. He's energetic, he's smart, articulate, and he couldn't have been a more perfect choice to be the Chief Development Officer for the business community in the city of Worcester here in Massachusetts. So we are so excited. The years ahead are going to be great for Peter Dunn. And so Peter, congratulations, well deserved. We look forward to working with you in the years ahead to promote development, to promote the business community here in the city of Worcester.
Thank you, Craig. And congratulations, Peter, if you want to come up and accept your plaque, and if you want to say a few words. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ellen and Paul and the whole Research Bureau. Truly a great privilege, and Craig for his remarks and nomination. Craig signing me up for another 30 years, so I have a lot more to live up to, I guess. Also want to say that it's a privilege and honor to serve under the leadership of City Manager Augustus. Have learned a lot from him and appreciate all of his support over the years. And also a great mentor in Phil Nidry, who's here with me tonight. Couldn't ask for a better mentor and a true public service servant in Phil Nidry. And lastly, of course, want to thank my family for so many years of support, a really great foundation, and blessed to have them all in my life. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to introduce our honoree, Lieutenant John Franco. Lieutenant Franco serves on the rescue company with the Worcester Fire Department. It's a highly competitive team. His selection speaks highly of his abilities, dedication, and overall respect. He is recognized as a true leader among Worcester Fire Department. He's a valued mentor, community coordinator within the department, and it's my pleasure to introduce Chief Mike Lavoie to offer his remarks about Lieutenant Franco and his service.
Hi, I'm Mike Lavoie. I'm the Chief of the Worcester Fire Department, and I'm here to congratulate Lieutenant John Franco on a prestigious award that, unbelievably, he hasn't received yet in his 32-year career, the Thomas Green Award. And John, I'd just like to congratulate you and just discuss some things that you've done over your 32-year career. You came on in 1988, 6 months after me. Of course, you were on the B team, but you made an amazing career out of it. We ended up at South Division together and fought many, many, many fires, and the trust level was between yourself and me were unbelievable, and it was just fantastic working with you. Then 1999, the cold storage warehouse fire happened, and you stepped up. You stepped up to the plate, and you decided that you needed to do something. You helped the families by, volunteering for the funeral committee and the functions that the funeral committee was doing. But then you went a step further after that and organized the funeral committee to what it is today, which is extremely well respected, and it's a true honor to have worked with you on the funeral committee. But besides that, you also decided to organize a road race 20 years ago, organized the Worcester Firefighters Memorial 6K, and over the past 20 years raised over $500,000 for local charities. You also worked on the MD, the Muscular Dystrophy Association, worked with the Red Cross. It's just too numerous to list all the things that you've done, and I was more than happy to have you drag me into most of these things with you. I actually had to become a chief to get away from you. But no, seriously, congratulations on receiving this award. It's truly about time. It'll be 32 years on the job when you receive this. And when I looked at the names of past recipients, I was truly shocked that you had not received this award. So again, thank you. And I also want to thank you for the past chiefs. They may not have said it, or they may, they truly appreciated what you've done. You made their job much easier. You've made my job much easier. I know you're winding things down, but you can't get out of it. All right? You always have to have your hands in it, and you will always be known as the cruise director of the Worcester Fire Department. Hopefully someone steps up and takes your place after you retire. And again, congratulations. Good luck with the rest of your career, and good luck with the rest of your in your retirement.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, and thanks for trying to make this seem as normal as possible. It's working. Again, I'd like to begin by thanking the Thomas S. Green Committee and the Research Bureau for doing all their work and what they've done in the past also. Also like to thank Chief Lavoie, not only for nominating me, but for those kind words he said. It's funny, all the things I did get involved with in this job, he's right. I totally pulled him in on everything, every time. I pulled him in mostly because I needed him there as my friend to kind of motivate me to keep on going. Usually I I was the lead in all those organizations. He was just there behind me. But I don't think I might not have done all those things if he wasn't there to kind of be behind me the whole time. I kind of needed that push in the beginning. Like Mike said, in '99, everything changed in the whole fire department, especially for Mike and I. The job was always serious, but we took it more seriously after that. We never thought anything could happen that happened in '99, and we have had many talks about that then and since. So again, thanks, Mike. Congratulations to my fellow winners this year. They're all well-deserved. Words cannot express my appreciation for receiving this Thomas S. Green Public Service Award. It means so much to me because the award represents something bigger than myself. It represents the people who are committed to making the city a better place to live and work. It means a lot for me to be thought of for this award. When I found out I was getting the award, I found it ironic that this is an individual award, but at the same time, all the things I'm involved with, you can never do without a lot of help and support from others. From running the Worcester Fire Department Dive Rescue Team, along with the MDA, the Memorial 6K Road Race, the Worcester Fire Department Funeral Committee, and running the Worcester Fire Department CPR programs, all these things could never be done without support, not only from the Worcester Fire Department itself, but the city as well. There are so many people I'd like to thank. I'm going to do my best to acknowledge some of them right now. I'd like to thank the city administration. I've been blessed to work closely with two great city managers through all the line of duty deaths that we had to go through in the Worcester Fire Department. Former city manager Michael O'Brien and of course city manager Augustus have always been there to support myself and the Worcester Fire Department through all the tragedies and giving us anything we needed to make sure our brothers were sent off the correct way. Again, thank you. I'd also like to thank the Worcester Fire Department's chiefs, like Mike mentioned, some of the past chiefs, and the local 1009 leadership. For my past chiefs, Chief Budd, Chief Dio, Chief Gardell, and now Mike Lavoie, all the administrators and the leaderships of the union president, Mike Papani, but also past ones, Frank Raffer and Ronnie Armstrong. Without all their support and giving me the tools to run all the things I organize, it would not have been accomplished. They gave me all the freedom to do what I needed to do and trusted me to make sure the job was done. Again, I thank them. Lastly, I'd like to thank the Worcester firefighters themselves. For over 33 years, yeah, it's 33 years, not 32, Mike. For over 33 years, I've asked for help and support, and they've never let me down. All the things I've accomplished would never have been done without them. I was asked a long time ago, when would the last year of the Worcester Firefighters Road Race be? And I always gave the same answer all the time. The day I show up that Sunday for the race and no one's there to help is the last year. That never happened. People were always there to help, always came, and just gave everything. The funny thing, when it comes to running things, you get all the credit. And the people in the background don't get much credit. But like I said before, without all of them, it wouldn't have ever happened. Through the active members, their families, their friends, the citizens of Worcester, all the retirees, they were always there to support me in many, many ways. The Thomas S. Green Award comes at a perfect time as my career winds down in the Worcester Fire Department. I think back what a firefighter told me when I first came on this job. He said, if you really want to embrace this job, you have to be involved with things. I took those words seriously back then and tried to be involved with as many things as I could. I think as a Worcester firefighter, it is our obligation to give back to the community as much as possible, to honor the badge that our men and women are wearing now and wore before me. I tried to do that throughout my career. I'd also like to thank my family, and mostly my two daughters, Gianna and Nikki. When you get involved with extra things besides your normal shift, like I did throughout my whole career, some people pay the price for that. Time spent with your family is sacrificed, and there's nothing you can do about that at times. They never complained. They understood what I was trying to do, and that meant a lot to me, and I love them very much. Again, I'd like to thank the committee for this award. It means so much to me. And again, thanks to Mike for nominating me. It means so much coming from him. Thank you so much.
Our next candidate we have is Edward Ed Gagney from the Mass Higher Central Regional Workforce Board. He serves as the Director of Youth Services and Adult Literacy Programs. He is a respected thought leader on youth development across the state and nation. I know we at WCAC work very closely with him and his team. Over his 33 years with the organization, he has too many to name now, but I'm pleased to introduce Executive Director of Mass Higher, Jeff Turgeon, for a few remarks on Ed's impact.
I'm Jeff Turgeon, the Executive Director of the Mass Hire Central Region Workforce Board. It's my great honor and privilege to be nominating Ed Gagney for the 2020 Thomas S. Green Award. Ed has 30 years of leadership in the public workforce system as our Youth Services Director. You could say Ed wrote the book on how to implement federal workforce systems. And I actually mean that literally. He wrote the operations manual for implementing the federal workforce youth programs in our region. That's become the gold standard across the Commonwealth and beyond. Ed is also an accomplished thought leader in our system. He's been nationally published in several journals on workforce development, including the Journal for the National Association of Workforce Professionals, giving his guidance on how to properly run and coordinate youth programming for workforce development. Ed has also established a series of workshops for professional development of youth staff throughout the region, and has also been the go-to person both throughout the Commonwealth from his peers in other regions throughout the state of Massachusetts and beyond. And so for that reason, it is my great pleasure to be the nominator for Ed Gagney for the 2020 Thomas S. Green Award.
Thank you, Jeff. And congratulations, Ed, if you want to come up and accept your plaque and citations, and you can say a few words. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ellen. I'm extremely honored to receive the Thomas S. Green Award and sincerely grateful for the recognition of my work. I was honored to be nominated by the Executive Director and humbled once informed that I received it. I want to thank my colleagues for their support and contributions. Thanks to the Research Bureau, the Selection Committee, the City Manager, and the Mayor for all they provided. At a very early age, I held a deep desire to help others. I vividly recall at the age of 10, volunteering at the local nursing home to help improve the daily skills of the residents. Then, as a teenager, my long-term goal was to be a doctor. I would take the bus faithfully every weekend from my hometown to Memorial Hospital, where I completed over 1,000 hours of volunteer service, helping various departments with patient care. It was gratifying to know offering help made a difference in someone's life, and still is today, 33 years as a public servant. As many know, I take seriously the assignments provided to me, responsibilities heavily concentrated in performance, program oversight, compliance monitoring, child labor laws, and creating local policy whereby students have a safe space to learn something meaningful and fulfilling and a platform to attain self-sufficiency. Over the years, I have been blessed to witness thousands of individuals flourish, discovering their potential, breaking the cycle of poverty, and furthering their education. Young adults who thought they were incapable of achieving such accomplishments while faced with homelessness, pregnancy, truancy, and disabilities while they were enrolled in the program. It is from them that I derive strength to challenge myself to perform better. Each day I go to work knowing the programs, the staff, and the agencies make a difference, and I never take that for granted. As an avid reader, my passion to write, my respect for academia, and the values that I hold to be true, I have a statement that I live by daily. It is on my signature stamp, and it reads, "Integrity matters." I believe without it, society can't function, certainly not effectively, and it's something I humbly try to strive to achieve in all my work functions, continuing to make things better while being fair and disciplined. I accept this award on behalf of all the youth who worked relentlessly to change their life and now wake up secure daily in their new choices that now have a positive impact on their well-being. Thank you for this incredible award.
Our next honoree is First Sergeant Paul Journet of the Montechusett Regional Vocational Technical High School's MCR-OTC. Please welcome Superintendent Sheila Harity to provide an introduction of his remarkable accomplishments.
Hi, my name is Sheila Harity, and I'm the proud superintendent of Montechusett Regional Vocational Technical School. And I'm honored to introduce First Sergeant Paul Journet to you today, because Paul, the principal, Tom Brown, and I, as well as our entire administrative team and staff at Monty Tech, wanted to nominate First Sergeant Journet for this incredible award in recognition for his commitment not only to our students at Monty Tech, but also to our community in North Central Massachusetts. Paul actually has had an incredible career. He, when he graduated from high school at the age of 18, he joined the Marine Corps. And for 2 decades in the 1980s and the 1990s, he fought for our country and across the world, actually, in various wars that we had had. When he retired from the U.S. Marines, he was still very committed to the organization and wanted to continue to give back. And we were thrilled that Paul decided to become a junior ROTC instructor at Monty Tech. At the time, in 2004, Monty Tech was starting a junior ROTC program, and Paul led the school in its new chapter. And truly, Paul has been a remarkable person that has been able to really exemplify what a junior ROTC program is, and we couldn't be more proud or thrilled of what he's done for our school, our students, and our community. Let me just tell you a little bit about what First Sergeant has done with this program. In the junior ROTC program has 250 units across the country, and they actually give out a distinction as an honor school for the country, with only 10% of the units across our country. And Monty Tech has had the honor school distinction for 9 years. And certainly it's a distinction in which the students' academic achievement as well as the community service, but really the extracurricular activities that our students are engaged in are truly remarkable. Some of the things at the local level that Paul has done, one of them is the 10-mile Marine Corps marchathon, and he and his students spend the weekend. They actually sleep out in our field, and on a Saturday morning they wake up very early and march for 10 miles. This raises $25,000 for the program, and what they do is each year decide an organization, a nonprofit that they'd like to give and donate the money to. In the past, they've donated it to the Needs organization. Needs actually is a nonprofit that trains service dogs for returning vets that have post-traumatic stress disorder. And they've given several times to the Needs organization, to the Salvation Army. Actually, one year they even gave a $25,000 donation back to the school because we were building a veterinary clinic, and our school had raised the entire money to build a 3,000 square foot veterinary clinic, and they were able to help support the school in this endeavor. In addition, during the holiday seasons, they do the ring belling for Salvation Army, and every year they hit their goal of $15,000 for their organization. In addition to that, Paul's been instrumental in other activities, which include, we were selected not only once but twice to be the host for Wreaths Across America, and this is a national organization that starts in Maine, and they make wreaths in Maine, and they caravan right before the holidays all the way to Arlington, Virginia, to place those wreaths on our veterans' gravestones in Arlington Cemetery. And Paul had connected with the organization, and they selected Monty Tech to be one of the host stop sites for them to actually have their Gold Star families stay with us, have dinner, and then sleep over in our area as one of our stopping points. And it truly was an honor for Monty Tech, and it was so well received by their organization. They actually selected Monty Tech to be the host site the following year, which was absolutely incredible. In addition to that, Paul thinks outside the box and does other things at the national level, one of which he and the junior ROTC students raised over $50,000 to actually volunteer their time to go to Wharton, Texas on a spring break 3 years ago. There were still families that had never recovered from Hurricane Harvey, and Paul and the junior ROTC students flew down. They raised dollars in equipment and materials to actually renovate 14 homes during the week so that families could get back into their homes after that devastating hurricane. In addition, Paul also understands that cybersecurity is one of the most challenging things that our country is facing right now. He started a cyber club, and our students actually participate in the Cyber Patriot competition. Not only did the students win at the local and state level, but they've also won at the regional level and at the national level. I'm really proud to say that Paul and the students in the cyber team came back with the first place trophy one year and the second place trophy twice. So really remarkable things that he's engaged in. Because of his commitment to the cybersecurity and the Patriot cybersecurity competition, the United States government, the Marine Corps, actually hired him to put together an entire educational training program for cybersecurity for high schools across the country for summer camps, and develop various curriculums for year-round for the schools as well. So needless to say, the accolades could continue on and on and on about First Sergeant Paul Journay. His commitment to our students, to our community, is like no other. I've been in education for over 30 years, and I'm honored to call Paul a friend, and I know our students, we think of him as a hero based on his commitment to our country and the service that he has given to our country, but he's also a role model to our students. And I would think that Mr. Green right now is smiling down upon us with Paul's incredible work and recognition. He truly exemplifies the Thomas Green Award, and he's an outstanding municipal worker, and I'm sure Mr. Green is very happy this evening. Congratulations, First Sergeant Journay. We're very, very proud of you, and this is such a well-deserved award for you.
Thank you, Sheila. And congratulations, Paul. If you'd like to come up and accept your plaque and citations and say a few words.
Thank you so much. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the Research Bureau for recognizing what I would say is not my sole accomplishment, but the accomplishment of so many. I don't stand here just as a representative of myself. I'm so appreciative of my superintendent, Dr. Harity, Principal Brown at Monty Tech, and all of our faculty and staff that have been supportive for over 16 years. I think you got the wrong guy, is the way really I feel about it. Being a servant leader is kind of my concept. Teaching our kids today the pathways that they can give back to their community is so important to me. And it's such a reward every day to experience that. And some of the things that Dr. Harity talked about as I sat there listening to him, I was really the recipient of the joy of that. I was the recipient of the goodwill of that.
bringing our students down to Texas, letting them see that neighbor really means neighbor. It just doesn't necessarily mean the person that lives in the house next door, but it's one nation, we're all neighbors of each other. And having our students get involved in those type of things is so rewarding to me. I think that the greatest thing that we can do is create a pathway for others, show them how, teach them how to be supporters of our community, teach them how to be volunteers. That's the tools they need, and I'm honored to be able to take this award back. It's not, honestly, it's not for me. I'll use it as a tool to show the kids what they should be doing, and I just thank you so much, and I'd be remiss to not congratulate all the other recipients of this award. I wish them the very best, and I appreciate so much all that they've done for our community here in Worcester County. Thank you so much.
Our next candidate is Catherine Oda. She was selected for this award for her service as Chief of Staff in the Superintendent's Office of Worcester Public Schools. Kate was a frontline worker for the Superintendent's Office, working on issues large and small. Her dedication to public service is evident from her nominators. My honor to welcome Mayor Joe Petty for a few remarks about Kate's remarkable contributions.
Welcome to the Thomas S. Green Awards. I want to thank Paul Matthews and the staff of the Worcester Regional Research Bureau, Tom Quinn, Eric Nealon for your hard work. I know that you are all working hard on supplying both the public and elected officials alike the data-informed perspectives that should inform our public discourse and policy. I want to thank you for keeping the tradition of the Thomas S. Green Award alive in spite of the difficult circumstances that COVID-19 has created. I also want to recognize today's other award winners: Peter Dunn, Chief Development Officer; John Franco, Worcester Fire Department Lieutenant on the Rescue Company; Ed Gagney, Director of Youth Services and Adult Literacy Programs for Mass Hire; and First Sergeant Paul Jornet, ROTC, Monty Tech. Each of you have exemplified what it means to be a public servant. Your commitment, your respectability, in some cases your heroism, should not just be exemplified, but should be emulated. It is my pleasure to recognize you, Catherine Oda, for your fine work as the Chief of Staff to the Superintendent Benenda's office in recognition of winning the Thomas S. Green Award for Public Service. I know that you're no longer with the Worcester Public Schools, but during your years in the Superintendent's office, I want you to know that you made a real difference here in this community. You're the kind of employee that is often overlooked. You never look for recognition, so I hope that this doesn't embarrass you too much. You're the person that sees the connections between projects, programs, and departments and builds those bridges between leadership to make sure that you're not duplicating efforts. This is a skill set that has real value, though it is most often undervalued. It is a value to me as mayor and to the school committee. You were able to foresee oncoming issues that were seemingly disconnected from the schools and did your best to prepare the Worcester Public Schools for these crises that arise seemingly every week. You were able to see the full view of things. You had real situational awareness in your position. You understood that the people and policies of the Worcester Public Schools are not an island and do not exist in a vacuum. They are part and parcel of the city of Worcester as a whole, tied to the issues that we are facing as a state and as a country. I want to recognize your experience with the Central Mass Housing Alliance. As a caseworker there, you came to understand the difficult circumstances that many of our Worcester Public Schools families face every day. You understand the effects of stress on our parents and students from housing insecurity, food insecurity, court involvement, and ultimately how this negatively impacts learning outcomes. You took the understanding and turned it into compassion. You treated every caller and every visit to the superintendent's office with grace and honest empathy that is difficult to find in a public servant, and even hard to maintain over the years of challenging work. In short, Kate, you were a game changer and an agent of positive change. You poured your heart into your work. I know that you have a real passion for the city of Worcester, and particularly to the Worcester Public School students. I sincerely miss having you in the superintendent's office. Though you are gone, I know you're not done. I expect great things to come from you. Congratulations again on earning the Thomas S. Green Award. It is well deserved, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Congratulations. Kate, if you want to come up and get your citation and certificate. Congratulations.
In this pandemic time, I feel like it's appropriate for us to have a mask up. Thank you so much. I was not prepared for those notes from the mayor. I dropped my mask. Okay. So I just want to say thank you so much. It really means a lot to me to receive this award. I would like to thank Mayor Petty and school committee member Molly McCullough for nominating me for this award. When the mayor called me, I was surprised, shocked, actually. I loved my job and never considered anything I did to go above and beyond. I tried to lead by example, especially for my children. I'm a Worcester native, a Worcester Public Schools alumni. Receiving this award feels like I've come full circle. Like many, the pandemic has significantly impacted us, and I am, as the mayor said, semi-retired at the moment, with a remote learner at home. The veracity in which I love this city pales to that of my children. So retirement is nice, and I'm working on art and learning Common Core math. And when the air is safe to breathe again, I will be back. And I just want to thank everyone, including the Research Bureau and the committee chairs, for this award. It was my honor and privilege to serve this city. You know, I've always been inspired by Muhammad Ali. More than a fighter, he said, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. But he also said, service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth. And I believe that. We had a little saying up at the hill at DAB, the Durkin building, and it was team. Together, everyone achieves more. And I believe that too. Be kind, look out for your neighbor, be a good pollinator. I'm deeply honored. Thank you.